Welcome back to Yoga for Beginners. Today is all about building core strength. So we are going to introduce that awareness to what does it feel like when our abdominal muscles start to engage. We'll be sculpting through the abdominal muscles here, and then also really practicing how can we keep the breath steady while keeping the muscles in the core engaged. So we've got some great movements that you can learn today, and I'm excited to teach you. Let's go ahead and get started. I'll meet y'all on the mat. Hello friends, welcome back. Today's class all about that core strengthening and engagement. So to get started, I want us to come to a kneeling position. Just go ahead and let your hips rest on your heels, and we're going to start with a few breaths today because our breath is really one of the major aspects that is going to help us bring that awareness to the core and how we engage the muscles. So I want you to bring one hand to your heart. This is your heart. One hand to your belly, and let's just start with a simple breath. And when you breathe in, just ask yourself, no right or wrongs, where do you feel the expansion? For a lot of us, we really only start to notice that expansion in the chest. And when we're looking to engage the core, we want to get the breath all the way down to the belly. So let's just take a few rounds here, really work to bring the breath down. So as you breathe in, it travels all the way down. Let the belly get a little bit bigger. Maybe you even push a little arch to feel the belly grow. And then on the exhale, hug belly button towards spine, straighten up tall. Good. Now, without moving the spine here, breathe in, send the breath all the way to the belly. Push the belly out here. Exhale, hug belly button towards spine. That's the air leaving the body. So just a quick little lesson here, tips on how breath and belly work. So I'm just going to turn to the side so that you can see my expansion here. We've got our diaphragm, which sits right about here where the ribs arch upward. And when we breathe in, the diaphragm pushes down, and that's what's expanding in our bellies. And then when we exhale, the lungs deflate, allowing the diaphragm to pull back up and the abdomen to hug in. So a little anatomy 101 for you on why is the belly expanding and hugging in. So hands back to heart and belly. Let's just do 3 more breaths together, filling all the way up as you breathe in, fill the lungs, belly gets bigger, then ribs, then your chest. And then as you exhale, empty through the belly, activate, hugging belly button towards spine, ribs get smaller, chest hugs in. Full breath in, fill the belly. Full breath out, belly button and navel towards your spine. Good. Now, another way that we can explore this activation is bring the hands to the outside of your hips. And so we're going to envision like there's this big rope wrapped around the belly. And when we inhale, that rope gets a little tighter, right? Because we're expanding through the belly. And then as you exhale, feel everything cinch in and then pause. We're going to pretend like we're blowing out birthday candles, and you'll notice that the inner transverse abdominals, that most inner layer, hugs back in one more time. Feel that? Good. Inhale, fill up through the belly. Exhale, blow everything out. Pause at the bottom. One more breath out. Good. One more time. Full breath in. Exhale through the nose. Let the belly empty out. Abdomen hug in. Blow out the candles. Good. So now we feel what that's like, how the breath is going to help us engage through our core today. All right, so our first pose, let's go ahead and make our way to all fours. Hands are under shoulders, knees under hips. We're in tabletop position here. And we're going to just start with some simple cat-cows. One, we want to work to connect breath and movement, but I also want you to pay attention to how on the exhale, belly button hugs towards spine as you round through the back. So tuck tailbone under, chin to chest. And on the inhale, allowing the belly to fill with air as you lift the chin and tailbone to open the chest. Good. Exhale. Belly button towards spine. Round through the back. Push through the shoulders. Inhale, dropping belly. Lifting gaze. Good. One more time. Exhale. Dome through the back. Hug the belly button towards the spine to really get that arch. And then let's meet in a neutral spine here. Gaze to the ground. Big toes together, knees nice and wide for a child's pose. The hips are going to come all the way back as the fingertips reach forward, melting the forehead down to the mat. A little reset for the lower back while keeping that awareness with your breath in the core. So the inhale's really filling up through the belly. Exhales, emptying the belly out, let the tailbone and back of the hips soften. One more breath in. One more breath out. Good. Inhale, shifting back forward, hugging knees in tabletop position. Walk your hands towards your body, lifting up through the chest. Now I'm going to turn to face y'all. You're going to send your hands down to the ground for a little bit of balance and then bring your right foot out to the side. One hand to your hip as you lift upward in the chest. Right hand to right thigh. Inhale, lifts the left arm up overhead. Exhale, right hand slides down the leg, left arm reaches over. So a nice little side body stretch to open up here, but also can you notice the activation in your left obliques? Full breath in. Exhale, belly button to navel. Feel the core engage. Good. Inhale, up through center. Left hand drops to hip. Right arm reaches up. Letting left hand drop to the ground. Reach the right arm overhead. Again, activating through those obliques. If you notice yourself rounding down, push the hips forward and curl the tailbone in. Open the chest to the ceiling. Maybe the gaze even comes up. If you want a little extra spice in this pose, the right heel can lift. Full breath in. Gaze can be down to your left hand. Full breath out. Good. Exhale wherever you're at. Right toes will drop. Right hand to hip. We're going to circle forward, lifting the chest to come back up. Good. Drop your hands to the ground for that support as the right knee hugs in. Sending the opposite leg out to the side. Walk your right hand to your hip. Lift the chest all the way up. We're going to take that same thing opposite side. So left hand drops to the left thigh. Inhale, reaches the right arm high. Exhale, lean over to the left. Good. Right obliques are engaged. Hips are pushed forward. Gaze might be up to the ceiling. If you want to spice up this side, maybe you come up onto these left fingertips. Full breath in. Full breath out. Good. Switching up our transition to that right side, circle the right hand forward and then let the right hand drop. Reach the left arm up overhead. So we're in this supported side plank or gates pose. And then drop left arm over the ear. Feel the left side body open. Again, you have that option to bring your gaze down to the ground, keeping the hips pushed forward, tailbone tucked under. Maybe you add that spice to the side as well, lifting through your left leg. Full breath in. Full breath out. Good. Left toes drop. Left arm circles forward, both hands dropping to the top of your space to hug your left knee in, tabletop position. Meaning in our tabletop position, tuck your toes under and start to walk the hands slightly forward as you lift the knees for a high plank. So I want you to focus on lengthening through the body here. Push through the backs of the heels, keep the back of the neck nice and long. Full breath into the belly. Exhale, navel to spine. Keep the ribs hugged in. Round through your shoulder blades. One more inhale, you got this. Exhale, knees drop wide, big toes together. Hips come back for a little reset in child's pose. One breath in. One breath out. Good. Inhale, shift forward. Hug your knees in, tuck your toes under, knees lift, plank pose. One more time. Big breath in. Exhale, navel to spine. Activate the core here. So we're engaging with our breath. The inhales are expanding the ribs wide. Exhales, hugging belly button in towards spine. Push through your shoulders here. One more inhale. Exhale, child's pose. Knees wide, toes untucked together, hips go back. Inhale, filling up through the belly. Exhale, relaxing in the ankles and lower back. Good. Last breath in here. Last breath out. Good. Inhale, shifting forward. Knees hug in, toes tuck. Our final plank pose today. Lifting up here. Really activate the core. We're sculpting those abdominal muscles. Just simply breathing. Push through the heel. Lengthen through the spine. Round through the shoulder blades. Big breath in. Fill all the way up. Exhale. Empty the core. Maybe you do your birthday candle blow. Oh yeah, feel it hug in. One more inhale. One more exhale. Birthday candle, blow it out. Good. Knees drop nice and wide. Toes together for one more child's pose. A great counter pose for a plank. We've got one breath in. Be aware of the breath filling up through the belly. Exhales, letting go of any little built-up tension in the spine. Good. Inhale, shifting forward. We're going to come all the way down to our bellies. Okay, down on the belly. You can bring your hands together to the forehead. Give the hips a little rock, left and right here. The toes are untucked and feet are about hips width distance apart. We're just letting go of any little built-up tension from our spine here. And then pausing into your stillness. On the inhale, forehead and hands are going to stay connected as you lift the chest. So we're starting to activate the back of the spine, building the muscles in the back. Stay here, feel the belly push against the mat as you inhale. Exhale, lowering down. Good. This time, release the hands, drop your right ear to the mat. Hands are outside of the hips. Give the feet and hips that little wiggle left and right. And on your next inhale, lift the chest. The gaze goes to the top of your space. Hands lift up, feet lift high. Superman or locust pose. Full breath in, belly to mat. Full breath out, maybe squeezing pinky fingers towards one another. You've got this. Stay with your breath. That's it. Full breath in. Feel the control on your exhale. Nice and strong. We've only got 2 more breaths here. All the way in. All the way out. You got this. One more inhale. Exhale. Lower all the way down. This time left ear drops to the mat. Taking those little wipes and rocks left and right. Good. Option to take that same variation again, or come with me, this time bending right foot. Right hand is going to find the top of your foot, the shoelace side, grabbing from the outside. So pinky edge of the foot, that's the side we're wrapping on. And then bending through the left. Left hand finds the back. Inhale, lifts the chest. Feet kick to hands. Full breath in. Full breath out. Remembering you can take that Superman, the same thing, just staying with the breath, nice and strong. This is our last time here. or hands to feet, feet kicking to hands. One more inhale. Exhale, release everything to the mat. Circle the hands under the forehead. Give those feet a little rock. The hips left and right. Good. Bringing the hands back under your shoulder blades. We're pushing back to find one more child's pose. Fingertips reaching forward as you melt your head down to the mat. Big breath in. Slow breath out. So just taking care of the body with these counter poses, especially when we're working with the core, to make sure we're letting any built up tension escape before moving to that next pose. Good. On your inhale, start to shift forward, hugging the knees back in. We are back in our tabletop position. Good. Sending your right toes all the way back. They're going to stay down on the mat for a moment. And then start to lift up through the right heel. Once you feel nice and balanced, that right heel lifts. Breathe in, fill the belly. And on the exhale, empty through the core, activating the abdomen. Now we have the option to stay right here or add on, reaching opposite arm forward. So left arm reaching forward, bird dog pose. This is a great spinal balance practice. Full breath in. Full breath out. One more time. Lengthen from fingertip to heel as you breathe in. Exhale. Abdomen squeeze in. Hug everything through center. And then set left hand and right knee down. Give yourself some circles. Beautiful. Let's switch it out. This time left toes go back. So we find our stability in our hands and landed knee to the mat. And then lift up through the back left knee. We're working to keep heel even with our hip here. Full breath in. Exhale, hug everything through center, staying right here or adding on, reaching your right fingertips forward. Inhales are there to lengthen us from fingertip to heel. Exhale, squeezing through center, belly button hugs to spine. One more time. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to strengthen through that core. Good. One more breath in. Exhale, right hand drops, left knee lands, finding those circles, both directions. Good. Starting to walk your hands back towards your body, sweeping legs off to the side. We're going to make our way onto our backs, scooting the hips forward, rolling on down. Hug your knees inward towards your chest. One breath in. One breath out. Finding some nice circles with the knees. Helping let go of any little built-up tension. And as we pause, dropping the soles of the feet to the mat. If you've got anything in the back of your head, like a ponytail holder or a clip, I always recommend removing that here just so that we can have the back of our head and neck nice and flat to the ground. Palms of our hands are going to drop outside of the hips, facing downward. And then walk the heels close to the glutes, whatever is comfortable for you here. And the activation that we're using in this next pose is this lift in our hips. So when we activate the core, it's during this lift. So be mindful of that. And before we get to bridge pose, I want you to take a moment to observe your spine, the arch of maybe the lower back. Maybe it is floating off the mat, which is totally normal and fine. But let's work to flatten this lower part of our back to the mat by an exhale, curling the tailbone upward, flattening the lower back to the mat, and then using the inhale, push to your heels as you lift upward in the hips for bridge pose. So the balance is now in the shoulders, pushing through the heels to lift the hips high. And this is a nice burner for our thighs and our glutes as well, which are all connected to the abdomen. So if we want a strong core, we got to give some love to the glutes and the legs. Maybe rolling the shoulders inward to help lift up a little bit higher. And I want you to notice as you inhale, let the belly fill all the way up with air. And on the exhale, when that air leaves the belly, lift the hips 1 inch higher. Squeeze the inner thighs so that your knees aren't flaring outward. Full breath in. Exhale, rolling down 1 vertebrae at a time, letting those shoulders come back out. The tailbone, the very last, to unravel. And when the hips land, take a big breath in. Notice that wave-like motion with your spine. Exhale, knees to chest, hands to knees. Good. On the inhale, open the arms like wings, dropping them out to the side, creating a T shape, and then let the legs find a 90-degree angle. So the shins are lifted, knees and hips are stacked. Big breath in. Exhale, twisting to your right for supine twist. Full breath in when the legs land to your right side, filling the belly. Exhale to soften through ankles, knees, hips, and left shoulder, just surrendering the spine into this rotation. Option to bring your gaze over to the left side for that full spinal rotation. Twists are a great counter pose to our back bends. And just letting any little built up tension escape from a different direction in the vertebrae. One more breath in, fill your belly up. And on the exhale, just surrender to the twist. Soften everything. Awesome. Inhale, gaze coming upward, knees coming with through center. Give yourself any little adjustments, movements. So the back of the hips feel nice and comfortable as you find that 90-degree angle with the legs. Big breath in. Exhale, legs to the left for your supine twist. Full breath in, filling the belly up. Exhale, relaxing from your ankles up to your knees, your hips, all the way through the spine as the right shoulder melts to the mat. Option to keep your gaze lifted or the exhale to bring gaze over to the right fingertips. Full breath into the belly. Surrendering breath out. Good. All the way in. All the way out. 1 to 2 more breaths here. Letting your inhale start to bring the gaze upward as the knees hug in through center. Again, taking any adjustments that feel nice in the hips. And when you're ready, dropping the soles of the feet down to the ground, sending one heel long at a time. Letting your eyes close down as your body absorbs the knowledge that you've just brought with the breath and how the inhales expand the belly and the exhales help us empty out, noticing the belly button drop to the spine, getting any last minute wiggles out as you take this time in stillness to absorb your practice, the strength you've curated within. resting the space between your brow, softening through the jaw, and simply just breathing. Lying here as long as your body would like. And when you're ready to close down your practice, start to move the fingers and toes, inviting movement to the body, rolling wrist and ankles, and taking a full body stretch as the toes point and the fingers reach long overhead. Exhale, bringing you back to center, knees to chest, hands to knees. Taking your time, making your way to a seated position as we close practice together. Hands to the side body. Inhale, sweeping the arms up high. Big breath in, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, hands to heart. Lifting your hands to your third eye center. Together we bow to say Namaste.